We need way more epic views for season 3.
Let's go.
All right, ready to go?
Ready.
Do this.
Big tower off the helicopter, R44, Foxtrot, Zulu, Hotel, Sierra, right from Waterloo, looking 2 towards the downtown area, do a series of orbits around the CN tower.
The moment we've been waiting for. It's our first one. We're headed back to the airport now. We just flew over Toronto.
What's happening on final?
Okay, Becky, what are you doing?
Well, you know, just editing our 100th vlog.
100.
100 vlogs.
That's crazy. We've made
That is
100
crazy.
weekly, more or less weekly videos. Over 3 seasons, so don't be confused because this is episode number 1.
Well, over 2 seasons. This is the 3rd.
True. Okay, let's talk about this somewhere else.
No! I don't want to like jump too hard on this.
Pulled my butt. Gluteus maximus. 100 vlogs.
100 vlogs.
100.
100 vlogs, season 3, episode 1. 187 videos.
That's something we have on our channel now? Mm-hmm. Hey, are we at 10K yet?
We're not at 10K, but we're close. So thank you guys so much for following along on our adventures so far.
You, me, and these guys.
You, me, and these guys. So thank you. So much has changed in the last couple of years, which we talked about in the last episode. I'll link it up here. 100 vlogs. And that was our first helicopter flight together with no instructor, nobody else in the aircraft.
I've had my license for a while now, but we've just never been able to fly together. We did that for the first time. Hopefully it wasn't too scary for you.
No, it was perfect. I loved it. Sitting in the front is way better, by the way, because you can see everything.
I've only sat in the front. I don't know it any other way.
I barely even got sick.
I've been dreaming of that since 2015 when I did my first intro flight.
I've only been dreaming of it recently because that first intro flight, I was very sick.
So we missed last week. Our parents were visiting. Her folks stayed with us, which is why
we have this bed situation. This is not like the normal setup in here, by the way.
It's usually a couch, but it's a pull-out couch, so now it's a bed. I kind of feel weird sitting on it because it feels like a porn set. Not that I know what that feels like. But anyway, why don't we move positions?
Okay, so we started this vlog in 2016. We kind of started it to hold us accountable for making the most of that 1 year. Who gets to spend 1 year in a city like Vancouver? We're lucky enough to be able to do that.
Actually, pretty much every fellow that's ever gone through there.
True. We decided we wanted to make the most of our time there, so we decided to film our adventures, go on an adventure every weekend, which is why we started this vlog.
Kind of why we started anything, really. Well, I mean, anything online, that is. Our blog for our home renovations, we started it to kind of almost be like an online journal to chart progress and to keep us, like you said, hold us accountable for finishing things. Same with Vancouver. We knew we'd fall in the same trap that we always do. You get home from work and then the weekend hits and you just want to chill out and do nothing. Only spending 1 year in a city, you want to make sure you make the most of it and see everything you can. And that's kind of why we started documenting our adventures.
I had always wanted to film our adventures. I was really obsessed with Departures, the show Departures. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's so good. Pretty much the reason why I wanted to start vlogging was because that show was such a huge inspiration.
They're kind of like the first vloggers before vlogging was the thing.
Yeah, it was like vlogging before vlogging. I think we went to London once and I filmed a couple of clips on my phone, but we didn't talk to the camera. It was just like,
what you guys doing there? Oh, you know, just filming some clips.
It was one of those things, I think, where we were like severely overthinking it because we came from a background of video where we were doing commercial jobs for people. What camera do we take? What mics do we use? Do we put lapel mics on? Do we have an extra boom mic?
Yeah, but we were coming from a different space too, and equipment-wise. I was shooting video pretty much since junior high school. Shortly after getting into video, I started doing that as a business on the side. Like commercial video is what I did, and I didn't know anything else outside of that. I was shooting with a VX2000. I shot after that with a Panasonic DVX100. These are all dedicated video cameras. They're, like that big, and they have mic inputs. So it's just all coming from that space. There wasn't a lot of...
Everything was huge and bulky.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of run and gun option. Like even Departures, for example, had What's the guy's filmer's name?
Andre
the
Chris,
filmer.
come on.
I knew that. I was gonna say
Come
that.
on. The most important character in the whole series.
I never watched it, but Becki watched it.
Obsessed. We had the 5D, which we shot a lot of commercial video on.
We didn't have the 5D till 2008-ish.
That's when Departures came out.
Oh. When the 5D Mark II came out, which was, I think, the first DSLR to really incorporate video as a main function, it didn't allow you to use manual controls, it was only auto.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't start shooting video until years later.
Noob, this guy over here.
This guy. Going back to it, we were just severely overthinking it. It was like,
It's true.
It could have been video on our phone. It could have been, a point and shoot that took video. It didn't have to be amazing.
We were very early in our, careers. We had all this new awesome gear and we felt like we wanted to use it. We would never be caught dead using a phone, but now we've sort of realized as long as you know the basics, you can get pretty good images on your phone. You just have to know light, you have to know exposure, you have to know composition.
Any footage is more valuable than no footage.
Yeah, to be able to just cut back to some of that.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Especially for the home renovations.
We started a blog. Like, why did we start a blog? Why didn't we document it in video? Oh, because we were overthinking it. It was still like, it had to be at this commercial level when it didn't really need to be at a commercial level.
Well, you were shooting a lot of real estate photos at the time, and the medium to deliver photos, this was even before Instagram really got popular. Well, you start a blog, and that's just how people did things.
Exactly, and so we did that, and we did document our renovations, which I'm really glad we did. And that was a great means for me to be able to show my photography, because that was my niche.
And really
shooting homes.
showcase your writing.
I'm not a writer. Our first episode of season 1. I
wasn't even in the first episode.
You weren't. That entire vlog was shot on my phone in a point and shoot. We bought a bunch of gear. Why don't you run us through some of the gear?
Right.
Okay, wait. Maybe we should go back into the office and show them some of the gear that.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about gear. The camera that started it all. The Elmo Super 8. Just kidding, this is my pop's old camera. It does still work, I actually use it for some BMX videos. But as far as the video equipment that we used when we moved to Vancouver for that first year of our vlog, well, the first camera, APS-C size sensor, but it's essentially point and shoot, a little 22mm pancake lens. I think you had this thing hacked with Magic Lantern special firmware that gave you flat profile and focus peaking, but I think ultimately you just started using your phone because it was faster and easier.
And the focus was shit on that. Remember, that's why.
Oh yeah, the focus always hunted on this. We figured we needed better equipment or something that would work better for our needs. So then we bought the Osmo Pro. We broke one, then we replaced it, then sold it, and ended up buying just an Osmo Standard. This thing was like a little bit of a novel concept. It had a built-in gimbal. Problem was that you had to attach your phone to it for a monitor anytime you wanted to use it. We were armed with our Osmo Pro. We had lapel mics with a Rode app in our phone. We just mic'd everything to make it higher quality, like we were used to doing for commercial video. We had to sync everything up in post. It was a nightmare for you, I think, because you basically edited the whole thing.
It took me 50 hours.
Yeah, Becki took 50 hours to edit episode 2.
It never really worked out because it was so much work on the post-production side. We just to come up with a simpler solution. I had just coincidentally picked up a GoPro Hero 5, and then we started just using the GoPro. We just said, screw cinema, screw filmic looks. We just started shooting stuff with this because it was so much easier. Auto everything. I think our vlogs kind of took a bit of a downturn then. This was not in line with our initial idea of wanting to make these cinematic videos. So we ultimately replaced this with what you're recording on now, the Sony a7S II. Oh, when we bought the Osmo, we also bought Fanny P4, Phantom 4, RIP. That's our timeline of cameras.
Our original intent, and our intent still is to document our life, documenting all of our adventures, including, moving to America, which is crazy. I can't see us stopping anytime soon because it's kind of fun just to look back and be like, oh my God, do you remember this time when, I don't know, all these big events that are happening in our life, and now we have these videos documenting them, which is crazy.
But it's also the smaller things in our life too, I find. How often have you gone back and be like, oh my God, I totally forgot about this weekend that we had randomly in the middle of the winter in Vancouver. If you don't have that log of your life, that would have been forever forgotten.
Totally. I mean, there's so many times we're like, oh my gosh, do you remember when we owned the screen printing studio and this thing happened, but we have no photos and we have very little video.
Oh, there's so much to that will be forever forgotten.
So last year, Gary Vee came to Vancouver, right? And I went to his conference to see him, and he said something that kind of blew my mind a little bit. I felt a little bit guilty not continuing on writing a blog, but he said something interesting. He said,
know who you are, know what you do, and then tell it in the way that comes most natural to you. If you're a writer, great. Start posting on Medium, audio. How many people here have a podcast? You like the camera and it lights you up like it does for me? Then you need to make videos tomorrow on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Tomorrow.
Like, that to me was just like, oh my God, like 5 years we've been writing a blog. Me, who failed English, shit speller, like, yeah, I'm not a writer. 5 years and we could have been doing video, which comes way more natural to us because that's how we grew up. From then on, I was just kind of like, this is right, this feels right, this is the way we should be documenting our lives.
That said, I'm hungry. Let's get some food.
Okay, so if you want to start something or you want to do something like start a vlog or become a designer or a coder or whatever, just do it. Just stop overthinking it. Do it. The shit is gonna suck at first. Ours sucked at first. But you're never gonna get better if you don't start. You have the do to make progress. So if you want to start YouTube and you're worried that you don't have any subs, because I've heard people say that, oh, I don't want to start YouTube because starting at 0 sucks. Everyone starts at 0. Everybody starts at 0. So stop overthinking it. You're gonna regret it if you don't do it. You're the only person who knows your own story. Just do it. Just start.
There you go. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when you post new videos.
Oh my God, my hungry belly. Remember when we used to like film all of our food excursions in Vancouver? All the season 1 was just us eating tacos in Vancouver.
Yeah, it was just taco montage after taco montage after taco montage.
After taco montage.